So, you've officially made it out of 2023. We got out of it alive. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen in 2024. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year to you. Now, I was just thinking here as I'm walking again, summer, out here in our local forest, kind of thinking about technology and how technology this year and on the years up ahead is going to make big changes in our lives. You know, I was watching the movie Grand Turismo there over the Christmas holidays, and if you don't know the storyline of Grand Turismo, basically what they did was they decided to have a competition with all these kids who played the driving game, and they just want to see could they turn any of them into a racing driver. So, as you probably know, like most movies, they have a happy ending, so they realised they could actually do that. But in the movie, like most things, there were people pushing against it. You know, they didn't want these young fellas that, sit up in their basement all the time playing these video games, just coming suddenly onto a racing track and suddenly becoming a racing driver. They wanted them to go the kind of old school route. And I think sometimes a lot of us do kind of get stuck into this kind of mindset of it always has to be the same way that it's always been in the past. You know, back when I used to write fiction, a lot of people would say, well, you shouldn't be putting books in your Kindle store. And the only really, writers are people who actually are published and not self-published authors. So you always find people who are pushing against the technology or the kind of, big changes that's happening. And I think that's going to happen too with social media. I think when it comes to radio and TV and things like that, the radio stations and the TV stations would like to think that they are still in control of an audience and, you have the programming and what you're going to watch. But basically right now, you and I have so much freedom that we can spend all day watching TikToks, we can spend all day watching YouTube videos. We don't need to listen to the radio. We can listen to podcasts, well, we can listen to the topics that we want to learn about or listen to about. So I think mainstream media is going to have to wake up to that. They are going to lose their audience. And I think you will probably see a gradual decline that people are just going to start seeking out their own entertainment, be it YouTube videos or podcasts or whatever. But you will find that those people in those industries will keep pushing and pushing against it, saying, oh, it needs to be legislated or it needs to be clamped down and these people can't be saying this and they can't be making these types of videos and all those different things. But like the dinosaurs, I think, mainstream media is going to go the way of the dinosaurs, that, the way things are happening right now on the internet and in social media, that people have so much choice. Why should they sit down and watch TV shows or, listen to radio stations and stuff like that when they have all the content just here in their phone, in their hand? So give that some thought, whatever you're doing right now, are you kind of moving with the times or are you still pushing against technology? Are you pushing against AI saying, well, I'm never going to use it or it's going to be a fad or whatever? You're probably going to find some point that whatever industry you're in, it is going to, be absorbed by AI or the jobs that we have right now. Probably a lot of these jobs are going to go away because of AI or going to be kind of handled by somebody with less experience than you who just needs to type in a few instructions or a couple of things in the chat GPT and suddenly they can do the same work as you can. So bear that in mind, into 2024 and in the years ahead, that, sometimes we like to push against technology or that, it's not fair and you kind of stamp on your foot. But really at the end of the day, you can't stop technology. It's going to keep moving forward. New inventions, new techniques, new platforms and new content or whatever is always going to come out and you can't push against it. So my advice for you in this year is to, if there is any technology kind of moving into your business or if you're maybe scared a little bit of using technology, start dabbling with it right now. Start making use of it. Because even though you mightn't like it, there will be a point that you're going to have to work with it. So, as I said, I think a lot of us are so lucky right now who can create so much content on social media that we can have our own TV stations like on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. We can have our own radio stations by creating a podcast. And we have so much freedom right now. We don't realize it. But as I said, the mainstream media is going to find out that there will come a point when we won't be turning on the TV, when we won't be turning on the radio, and we will just be consuming the content that we want to watch. So give that some thought today, and again, Happy New Year to you. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.